Adventure and water parks are one of the key cornerstones of the UAE's tourism value proposition, which was estimated to draw 19 million visitors in 2020. Well, that number might have been altered a little bit due to the pandemic, but the taste and appetite for adventure is only just increasing. Well, today we have the co-founder and managing director of Aventura Parks, Lina Mullis, who's here to tell us a little more about the entertainment and leisure industry in the time of COVID-19. Thanks so much for joining us, Lina.
Thank you, Shruti.
And welcome to Up to Data. Great. So, Lina, I'd love to know a little more about Aventura and what your idea behind this concept was.
So Aventura Parks is set on a beautiful gaff tree forest, just 10 minutes from Dubai Airport. And it includes our beautiful adventure park, that's our treetop adventure, that has 80 obstacles and 24 zip lines in it, as well as a beautiful nature trail that showcases the flora and fauna of the UAE. In addition to that, we have a team building park that is incredible for impactful programs that help people learn more about themselves and each other. And to top it off, we have a beautiful Cafe Chris that has wonderful food and really healthy and tasty delights. Aventura offers experiences to all ages and essentially teams, children, families, as well as leaders and students. And we have experiences for all that highlight nature and adventure.
All right, amazing. So one of the key themes around most of the theme parks here that we see is, there is such a huge role that technology plays in the way it's integrated within the parks, be it a Ferrari World or an IMG World Parks. But Aventura seems to be a different value proposition when it comes to that. It's more about the nature. It's more about, the adventure that you do and not using a VR, AR technology. Tell us more about that, about how you have used this as your USP.
Yeah, so Aventura Parks is basically experiences in nature. And people enjoy being away from their phones, they unplug, they bond. It's about connecting people on a human level and enjoying and having fun in a natural setting.
And do you think there is an appetite or demand for something like that now in this era?
Absolutely. Everybody's been cooped up on Zoom calls and working on different, and actually not communicating with each other face to face. Even hugging is taboo now, and connecting with everybody is just very difficult because of the pandemic. And so Aventura is a beautiful escape from the ordinary. We actually have a space, 35,000 square meters, where social distancing is easy, where we actually have put in all the precautions for COVID-19 in terms of social distancing and making sure we have sanitization and all that. And it's just really a place where people can unplug, enjoy nature, and enjoy each other.
That's amazing. Honestly, all the conversations I've had in the show in the past few episodes have been about tech, data, digital transformation. It's so nice to talk to you right now because we are disconnecting and unplugging, like you mentioned right now, from everything that is just so tech heavy and so artificial and going more towards nature. And that's very interesting for me, and that I think as a consumer, as somebody who loves adventure, I need it. I need more of that here. So can you tell me more about the innovations that Aventura has introduced to attract more customers and reach out to your audiences?
Well, Shruti, of course we use in technology in order to attract our customers and in order to communicate with our customers. So from SEO and SEM and revamping our website, making our processes easier, using technology in our operations, those are all critical in an amusement park and an adventure park itself. That makes the customer experience more seamless and helps customers learn more about us. Social media is such an important avenue and channel in terms of communicating with customers. So although our products are experiential and our products are actually set in nature and kind of anti-technology, our way of communicating is using technology.
Right. So tell me a little more about how you are using data in terms of the conversations and communications that you have been doing to, again, like you mentioned, reach out to your audiences. So what role does data play? How exactly are you collecting and extracting the data that you need?
Well, data is essential in any industry, and it's becoming more critical to understanding your customer more than any time in the history of where we are in business. And essentially, we use data to better understand our customers, better communicate with our customers, and to really truly know what they want, to understand what their needs are, and to improve our products, and to also let the customer know we're listening to them. Because it's very important for a customer to feel that they're engaged with our product and with our brand.
Sure. And how do you extract this data?
Through CRM. We have CRM system, and we also have, our booking system. We have different ways of, as people as people enter our park, they sign a waiver form. We're collecting, of course, their information on that,
sure,
where they're from. And so in terms of extracting it, we have key areas that we are trying to find out more. And that's how we find out age, demographics, where they may come from, whether we're hitting the tourist market properly, what we have to do more in order to communicate with customers in different segments.
Right. So it's the traditional old school way then of data extraction by talking to people directly and communicating with them directly.
Well, not only old school, because we're collecting it on our systems, and then we actually are analyzing the system, the information, data mining, so to speak, in order to figure out whether or not our customer has been served and how we can better serve them.
Sure. So after collecting the data in the different ways, in both mining it technologically and digitally, and by talking to them personally, what have you realized? What is it that they need and want today?
I think the trend really is truly moving towards more nature, more connection, more family time. And Aventura is the best place, is actually a perfect place for bonding, family time, and learning more about themselves and each other, as we do with our team building products for our corporate products. And for our school products, at this time, there's not that many schools doing field trips because of the pandemic. But I think that the outdoors and being in nature and adventure and learning about the world around us is so important. And it's a basic human need that we are answering. And so time and time again, what we're finding out from the data is that actually people are happy. They're enjoying the park. People leave connected, feeling like they've achieved something as they go through the obstacles, especially after the pandemic. It's so important to offer people these experiences. And our data is showing that people crave these things and they want it.
Sure. So data, again, you've spoken about how you've tried to understand what the customers need, and what you are offering is what they're actually asking for. But in terms of marketing, I'm sure you're also using data there, and data-driven marketing is key and core right now, especially in a market where you have a lot of competition at this point, right? With all the way from the high-tech likes of Ferrari World or the DPR, etc., to even the wall climbing zones in the malls, So your competition range, it's quite vast. So how exactly are you reaching out to the people using data?
The way we use the data is essentially trial and error in terms of SEO, and really honing in on the different segments and figuring out where they're going to search, how they're going to look through it. It's very important for us because everything in our world today starts, or almost everything starts with a search. And if we can master that and use our expertise to make that more seamless for the customer, where we will actually be on customers' minds, that's basically spreading the word. It's so critical. Data is so critical to spread the word.
Absolutely. I mean, the reason I asked you is because recently I think Disney had embarked on this $1 billion journey for wearables, right? And that's how they were tracking data and understanding what customers are doing, using, consuming whilst they were in Disneyland. So, I mean, that is, again, a company with a massive budget, which with huge traction, with huge leverage, etc. But for Aventura, which is operating on a much smaller scale, you're still using data and you've still realized the importance and potential of data, which is amazing. But another thing that comes along with data is loyalty, right? So, and there are various ways that retailers, companies, organizations are trying to garner and sustain and retain their loyal customers. What is it that you are doing, and what is it that an adventure park, a theme park, can do in terms of loyalty?
We have our annual pass. We have corporate ID cards. We have partnerships with various organizations where their companies can enjoy, and their colleagues and families can come and enjoy the park at a discount. We also have school programs because we feel very strongly about education, and we want to make sure that students have amazing field trip experiences at our park, and including climbing as well as our team building programs. And so our loyalty programs are very important to us, but not only because of the program itself, it's really about building community. It's about having people, both organizations and individuals, feel that our park is their park, where they can come and enjoy all of the different amenities and areas of the park, whether it's our nature trail and strolling through it and getting a kind of a nature boost, or actually climbing up on our zip lines and going on and between the trees in our adventure park. And really, that's our goal, is to build a place where people feel that they can come to and enjoy nature and enjoy adventure.
Right. But speaking of communication, one more thing that, I as a consumer, every time I have to go to an adventure park, I look for offers, I look for discounts, I look for schemes, or I'm either on an entertainer, Groupon, etc. How do you personally, as an experiential retailer, feel about this entire discount culture that has become such a prominent part of any kind of shopping experience?
So in terms of the discount schemes that are out there, there are some that are more limited than others. Entertainer is, you have to buy the booklet and you have to be part of a smaller group in order to use it. Groupon is widespread to everyone. And what we've found is actually the wider spread ones can dilute your brand. They're great for when you're starting out, and it's great for building market awareness in the market that you exist. But our feeling is that customers are looking for discounts, but they don't need as deep discounts as some of these offers play. And it also paralyzes us as a business from offering our own discounts. And it also, we have tremendous partnerships with the Kids app and different applications, and partnerships with DMCs. And with Groupon, it kind of paralyzes those partnerships because the consumer is smart. They say, well, why don't you give us the Groupon rate? You give it to Groupon, why don't we have it? So in order to move more in the market and be more flexible in the market and actually take control of our marketing discounts and give the customer what we want to give them, it's a balancing act.
Sure. So I'm just trying to understand this concept that you've said, right? So in terms of Groupon, you said it's more like a blanket which applies to the masses, but there are also niche offerings and propositions. So what would you say, I mean, as a consumer, I would go for where I find more value and more value for money, especially given times are tough, purchasing powers are lower, etc. So if there is a Groupon that's giving me a higher discount, I would go to them. But why would you, as a retailer, have a problem with that? Or what exactly is is it that Groupon or the Groupons of the world are doing to dilute your proposition?
They basically take about 50% of our of each sale.
Yeah.
They give 30% to the consumer, and then there's about 26% that goes to them. And so essentially, it dilutes our brand, and it makes we have to pay out a lot to buy that consumer. And so it not only does that, but it also prevents us, when there's an automatic 30% that anybody can get, it prevents us from being, sometimes we want to do 20%, sometimes we want to give 35%. It prevents us from our own flexibility because it blocks us from giving anything less than 30% because everybody can get it. So when you're dealing with groups and you're dealing with different kinds of entities that want to collaborate with you and use their marketing engines to promote you, then they're faced with the same thing. So say you give them a 25% discount, which is very healthy and very generous. Groupon blocks it. And so when it's such a deep discount, that's just automatic for everyone. And what we find is that consumers, once they hear about us, we don't really know where they've heard about us. That's the mystery about marketing. I mean, you can learn that. You can have certain ways, but when you're out there and you're using technology to do it, it becomes much more difficult to figure out where your customer's coming from, where they're hearing about you from. And so basically, when they get to our ticket office, they basically say, okay, what discount can I get here? And if they look, so they may have already heard about us before they even get on Groupon. So Groupon is not serving its purpose of building awareness in that instance.
Understood.
So, there's Groupon, there's Cobone, there's all of these different platforms that are great for a while, but unless they have the flexibility to bring down that 30%, it kind of paralyzes us from offering other segments, as well as the consumer segments, great deals ourselves.
It feels like the aggregator conversation that we've been having with restaurants is the same thing. The commission is just too high at this point, and there needs to be more done to find that midway if they are planning on being that middleman in this entire conversation. But again, Lena, thanks so much for all of those valuable insights. It was great fun talking to you.
I hope you do take us up and come by anytime.
I definitely will.
We'd love to see you there.
I need to get off of my phone and switch off my laptop at least one weekend. So
it's time to unplug.
Right?
It's time to unplug. Okay, Shruti?
That should be your tagline.
Okay. All right.
Great. Thanks so much, Lena, once again.
Thank you.
And thank you to all our viewers for tuning in one more time to Up to Data. We will be back again very soon.